you're a home buyer, somebody or a young person looking to buy a home, you need a bit of a reset.
There is a possibility on the other side of this that inflation could actually be quite low.
Welcome back to Real Estate Mindset. Today's video is going to be absolutely bonkers. Now, the data is in, and I have a question that I hope this video will help answer. Will Lennar homes be eaten alive by the commercial meltdown? You guys may remember that I did a video about 10 months ago explaining D.R. Horton and Lennar's holdings in the commercial real estate market. And now that it's starting to crumble apart right before our eyes, despite the lack of media coverage, we're now starting to see Lennar specifically take massive losses. And so the question is in order for them to stay in business, will they have to liquidate their SFR or single family home inventory to make it through the commercial real estate meltdown? Now, according to the market and the stock market, Lennar is doing perfectly fine. In fact, they are exploding. But what I'm saying is it's a ticking time bomb that we should all be aware of. And you guys, I got some juicy data to bring up. But before I do that, if you guys can help me out, help me with the algorithm, hit notifications, shoot me a bonkers below, share this video. And either way, the biggest thing of all, I really hope this video gives you overwhelming value. Big shout out to Melody Wright. She led me to this story. But as you can see here, when we look at this post from Twitter, CoStar News put this out about 3 days ago. And this states Lennar's multifamily segment posted a loss in the fourth quarter, and the unit is projected to weaken further at a time when the national home builder has hired JLL to sell a portfolio of 11,000 luxury apartments in its Quanterra arm for about $4.5 billion. You guys remember that I covered Quanterra and basically, let you guys know that that's actually Lennar. Lennar actually changed the name so that people wouldn't think they're the same company, because my concern is they were going to start taking massive losses, which we finally see starting to happen. And I'm going to show you the prices that have been slashed around the nation after I show you this. The stock market right now is sending Lennar stock to the moon. I can't believe it's this high. I mean, again, I can't believe it's this high. Prices have been slashed. Supply is going up just like their stock. It doesn't make sense to me, you guys. This is near a 52-week high. The 52-week high was $156. The low was $88, but the stock has been on an absolute tear, sitting at $147 per share. Call it foolish optimism, call it whatever you want, but I want to go over a couple of their numbers. And I wanted to first start with financial services. Now, you guys remember me saying that unfortunately they don't count seller concessions in new homes like they do existing homes, so prices are down a lot more. And I said they can get away with that because technically Lennar, or the seller, which is Lennar, is not giving them these rate buy downs because technically their mortgage company is, which is Lennar Mortgage. Now, that's complete BS because you can see here that they're profiting a ton of money on their financing services. So how can we not count that in the data when they clearly own the company that's giving the incentives? Do y'all see how this is like just so stupid? I mean, we know Lennar's the ones giving the sellers concessions. Put it in the appraisals. Take away the value like you're supposed to. Crazy. Now, this next line here is their multifamily. You can see that in 2022, they were sitting at revenue of $179 million. That has gone down from $179 to $140 million. So they have taken massive losses there. Now, when we look at multifamily operating earnings, you guys can see here massive losses right now. So right now they're sitting at in this quarter, $12.1 million loss on their multifamily. And again, this isn't even the worst year. Next year is even worse, and 2025 is even worse than that. The reason for the Fed pivot? Commercial meltdown, commercial real estate meltdown. I'm going to call that right now the reason for the Fed pivot. Commercial real estate meltdown. Now, you guys can see this time last year, they were in the positive by 15 million. That's about a $30 million swing. But when we look at years ended, they're at a loss of 50 million, whereas in 2022, they were up $69 million. So what we see here is the commercial real estate meltdown spiraling out of control and finally starting to hit the number 2 builder in the nation, Lennar. But that's not all that's happening with Lennar. There's been multiple class action lawsuits because of deficiencies on how they build. And I'm going to warn you once again, you got to be super careful when you sign the documents with these new home builders because often they have arbitration agreements in their deeds, their special warranty deeds, which means if you sign that, which you have to sign, by the way, in order to close, you cannot sue them, which is why so many attorneys do not want to go after Lennar or even other new home builders. Apparently, according to Attorneys Real Estate Group, there are class action lawsuits against Lennar. According to the allegations, Lennar Homes engaged in fraudulent business practices by failing to disclose deficits in its built homes, such as defective construction and plumbing that could cause serious safety concerns. We know this on my channel. We brought people in here to try to warn, hey, if you're going to buy a new home, get like 5 inspections because you're rolling the dice here. Now, when I go down to the conclusion, what this is saying is hundreds of thousands of homeowners in California could be affected by the allegations against Lennar Homes. There is a significant lawsuit and has gained national attention. Keeping up with the lawsuit's progress and understanding your legal rights is essential if you purchase a home from Lennar Homes in California. Now, and here's another article. If you guys want to dig in, I will link this as well. But basically, this is saying, again, Lennar is posting a $12 million loss when this time last year it had a $15 million profit. But what I really want to go into is their multifamily business that they rebranded. So Lennar first launched its apartment development business in 2011. However, and I made a video on this in July of 2022, Lennar's multifamily subsidiary rebranded as Quaterra Multifamily. So they did rebrand that, you guys. Now, when you ask like, okay, well, just how big is that? How at risk is Lennar? Let me read it. It's ranked as one of the top multifamily developers and builders in the nation, sitting at a rank of number 7 on the National Multifamily Housing Council. That is huge, absolutely huge. So what I believe I'm seeing happening right now is what these home builders, whether it's Lennar, DR, Pulte, they're cutting the prices in areas that they overbuilt in. And remember, you guys, not all metro areas has an abundance of new construction, and not all subdivisions are in the same level of distress. So you really got to figure that out for yourself. But nevertheless, you guys, I think that they are already liquidating houses. In fact, I know they are. And on top of that, remember the type of buying incentives that Lennar is offering right now to entice people to purchase some of their homes. They've actually lowered their interest rate now to 4.25%. You guys, and that's why I tell people are like, oh my gosh, the interest rates plummeted to 6.6. I'm like, you guys, I've had 4% in my own local metro area for a year. You guys, we already have low interest rates here, and the supply is going up and the prices are going down. Why? It's so hard for some people to understand that, but regardless, 4.25% buy down. Okay, that's not being reported on appraisals, plus $10,000 towards closing costs and up to $28,000 in price reductions. I mean, they're throwing everything but the sink at people to buy houses. And look at some of these price cuts. And you guys, this is just in my own personal area of Houston. Look at some of these price cuts on the left here. $11,000 price cut. This one's $24,000. But look at when I scroll down here, all of these houses are price cut. Now remember, builders do play games, and what you need to do is a market analysis on the subdivision to see how much under market these actually are. But this is a $30,000. This is a $40,000 price cut. I mean, look at, they're pretty much slashing the prices on all of their inventory. This one is a $35,000 price cut. And these are low price points, I want to add. These are not the high price points. These are more quote unquote affordable housing. I mean, this one's down almost 20%. Right here, look, it's $200,000 now. I mean, they're slashing prices all over the place, but not just in Houston. They're also doing it in other areas like Salt Lake City, Utah. I did a boots on the ground video over here. It was astonishing what I found in Salt Lake. But the first one here, you guys see, that's $100,000 off. You see that to the left of me, again, Salt Lake City, but that's not the only house. I mean, multiple houses. This one's about what, $70,000 off. I mean, they're slashing that. Look at more. They're slashing the prices on almost all. This one's over $100,000 price cut. Right here, you guys, over $100,000 price cut. So it depends on the metro area, but they are slashing prices where, again, they overbuilt. Here's another $100,000 price cut. I mean, look at this, guys. It just keeps going. And it's not just in Utah and Texas. This is in South Carolina right here. I mean, look at these price cuts. Again, lower price points. South Carolina is flooded with new homes right now. I mean, these are substantial, you guys. This is a $60,000 price cut on a $376,000 house. That's huge. And let me scroll down and look. It just keeps going. Look at this one, 25,000, almost 20,000 here. This one's huge. This is about 60,000. This is insane. Absolutely insane. But it's not just here. It's even on the East Coast. You guys take a look at Delaware, slashing prices as well. $40,000 price cut right here. Over $20,000 price cut right there. But when I scroll down, you see that they just continue 30,000. They are price cutting houses across the nation. What you need to hope is that you're in one of those areas with substantial amount of building. And I really want us to understand that, again, they cannot hold prices and they cannot sell their houses even with these outrageous buying incentives. I know that, again, because I'm lucky enough to be in a metro area where I can see this happening right in front of my eyes. Plus, I have access to MLS. As a realtor, I can see the behind the scenes data. This stuff is happening right now, and we see that happening around the nation. And we know that prices are going down because we have the data. It's right here. I'm telling you guys, the new home price crash is going to lead the nation and is going to lead to existing homes also having a price crash. Now, this just updated when I was making this, so it did go up slightly, but the peak, you guys, in October was $496,800. It's now down to $434,700. That is a $62,000 drop, or 12.5% decline. Now, last month, it was way worse, over $80,000 with a drop of over 17%. So this is going to go up and down, but the trajectory is down. And this is, again, then offering extremely low interest rates, paying closing costs, realtor bonuses, slashing prices. They just cannot hold their value. And we know that because the months of supply is shooting up. This also updated. You guys, this is crazy, by the way. This updated when I was filming this. We have 9.2 months of supply right now. So if the builders are doing so well, if there's so much demand, right, they're doing so well, then why is there 9.2 months? Remember, all we need is 6 months. That's it. 6 months of buyer's market. We have 9.2 months of supply right now with new construction. And this, you guys, and I want you to think about this, is being underreported greatly. And again, it depends on the subdivision. Some subdivisions are worse than others, but I have showed you guys numerous subdivisions where there was 2-3 times more supply than what was being reported on either the Census Bureau, Redfin, Zillow, or just the MLS. So in conclusion, what I really hope that we can take from this video is, number one, builders have even more room to go down on their prices. Okay, so first of all, they can continue to go down and still be okay. And we actually kind of want that because we want the building to continue. One thing we don't want is the building to stop. Now, the second thing is, I want you to understand that so far with the housing market turmoil and crash that we're heading into right now, new homes have been leading the price decline. And you can see that in the metro areas in Texas, because all 4 metro areas with year-over-year price decline are in Texas, the #1 state of new construction. So please, you guys, consider what I'm saying. Now, the third thing is I want you to understand that things vary from metro area to metro area, from state to state, but the most important thing to track is what's going on in the subdivision of the subject property. Now, obviously, that's not for rural and custom houses, but most of the stuff we're talking about is within a subdivision, and they do have HOAs. I know a lot of you guys do not like HOAs. Now, the last thing is I suspect going into 2024 and in 2025 that we're going to see the same trends happening. We're going to see prices go down. We're going to see inventory go up, so long as the builders don't stop building. And we know that, and honestly, guys, the crazy thing is starts exploded. So even with all the turmoil I showed you, even with the price declines, the inventory, builders are still building like absolute animals. Shoot me some comments below. And if you guys can, shoot me your intel below. Don't forget to add your metro area. Sometimes I get the best comments, but then you guys don't put your metro area. Please let us know what metro area you're talking about. So shoot your comments below. And other than that, if you're out there investing in real estate, you know I wish you luck and I hope you win.